How are we doing? Thank you very much for joining us here. It's Wednesday night, so it's time for the Rivalry Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content. We appreciate you out there. See a little bit of you coming in. Got a little bit of the double intro there while I was getting the mic straight. So want to thank all of you out there. It looks like 122 now on YouTube. So thank you as well. Even the X page is building back up, so we appreciate you. Now over 100 people on X, over 200 plus on Facebook as well, and this is organic. We'll leave it right there, but this is all people out here that have decided to like the video, subscribe, look at it, like the page, etc. It's all of you. Thank you, all of you, for going ahead and squaring that away as well. Orioles and Royals MLB draft day. So definitely too, we're going to have a video that day. So we're going to recap the Orioles and Royals that day. Two best shortstops in the MLB and at least in the American League. Bobby Witt and Gunnar Henderson. We're going to be talking about that game. That is the day before the All-Star break as well, before the break actually starts. And also too, that's the same day as the MLB draft. We'll be talking about the draft as well. Definitely like this, beginning to start my process moving from football draft to MLB draft, looking at a lot of that film and everything like that. So definitely have a blast doing that. Definitely looking at that as well. Genesis Notary Services /Facebook.com as well. Definitely too. So had one of my days I'm getting more and more of. Went to my 9 to 5, left there, had a notary appointment, had to come here and film. So that's great. So it's great to be so busy and people out here asking us to go ahead and square that away. Definitely, if you're in Winchester, Virginia, you know. Now that the apple blossom is over, you Winchester people, now you can go ahead, get your notary work and everything done like that. RivalrySports.company.site is our flagship, so definitely check that out. Orioles and Ravens jerseys is on there. Definitely Fanatics links. You see them, they're definitely there every Sunday. You can get the brand new, for those of you that want to buy the brand new Ravens jerseys, you can go ahead, click the Fanatics links. It's on there. I've really been linking a lot of those Lamar jerseys that you can get, obviously, but the Trey Hendrickson, Zay Flowers, all the brand new stuff, the City Connects as well, did a couple of those. So definitely if you want those jerseys, so there's a lot of new, fresh merchandise on there. Definitely check that out. And Harris Legal Shield, so definitely check that out as well. See Charles Harris, We Are Legal Shield. Value of Legal Shield is tremendous. I can't begin to tell you guys. So definitely too, if you guys need discounts when you go to a lawyer, and legal advice when you're being sued is so important. So definitely, absolutely check that out as well. So definitely, Legal Shield is a great resource for you. Absolutely go ahead and get that squared away. All right. So let's go ahead and start. So, one other thing. I knew I was forgetting something. So one other thing on next week. If you see the video, it says NFL schedule release. We are estimating the schedule release will be next Wednesday. We don't know for sure. According to Yahoo Sports, they may have moved it to next week. So if there's no schedule release Wednesday by the time we come on, we may move it to Thursday, next week's show. If it's not out by then we'll do a different show like in the top and then do schedule release the following week. But we predict that'll be next week. For whatever reason, they don't really like to say when that is, but we will definitely go ahead and talk about that. The North. So let's talk about our division, the North. Who's going to be kings of the North, the AFC North? So now we're in the post-draft season. So you get to the season, obviously, September to January is football, NFL going on, playing season, in-game, focused on that. Once we get to the off season, then right around January, February, we kind of recap. Then we move into like February-ish, late January, player acquisition and everything like that. now we are in the predictive season, right? So, okay, so now we've had the draft, we've had free agency, we've had all these things. We pretty much we know now how these teams look on paper. This is pretty much now what you have right now is barring any superstars that come that are undrafted or anything like that, you're going to have guys that we know. So this is what the teams look like. So let's go ahead and go over the North, the division, and let's go ahead and take a look at how the teams look in the offseason. All right, so this isn't prediction here. Okay, we'll get to that later, but this is just what they got. We'll go over teams, and if you're not familiar with the draft, whatever, we'll go over what is actually going on. The Browns last year they finished in fourth place, 5-12 out of 17 games. What's the strengths and the weaknesses of the Browns? The Browns have a very good defense. They probably have the best defensive player in the NFL, Myles Garrett, on their team. Myles Garrett, even his age has not slowed him down. He's been very good as an older player. He's been very good as a player. I think they've actually drafted well and played well on defense. Not just Myles Garrett, Mason Graham, they got him in last year's draft. Corey Schlesinger, I think, was probably one of the better players in the draft last year. Outstanding inside linebacker, Denzel Ward, and cornerback as well. So they have some good things on defense. They did lose Jim Schwartz in a weird way. they practically promised him the head coach job, and then at the last minute gave it to Todd Monken, which is crazy. I mean, and congratulations, Todd Monken, getting the job, but the way it happened was kind of weird. But that's typical Browns. So they have good defense. So that's not questioning that. The offensive line actually hasn't been terrible either. They have some pieces on offense. Quinshawn Jenkins, the running back is there as well. So they have some pieces. What did they get in the offseason? Elton Jenkins, Zion Johnson, Tyus Howard, Quincy Williams, AJ Ebeneza at defensive end. Spencer Fano in the draft. Casey Concepcion had 2 first-round picks because of the trade they made moving back in the Travis Hunter trade last year. So they did do some things in the offseason. One thing the issues they had was offensive line was good in previous years, not so good last year. I think it kind of just aged out a bit, so they made some changes. They go and get Jenkins. They go get Zion Johnson. They go get Spencer Fano. So Titus then okay. I mean, so I think that's not too bad there. What's wrong? You have a new coach, all totally off the reservation. Todd Monken getting the job that surprised everybody. Todd Monken, don't get me wrong. I mean, did a good job with Lamar Jackson and all that. Todd Monken is in his late 50s, so I understand why he took the job. This is probably what he feels like maybe his last chance to get a job. I understand that. So a really off the board hire, really bad taste maybe with the defense, the way it was handled with Jim Schwartz. We'll see about that. And so that's a concern there. The biggest concern with the Browns is actually they've done a lot of good things. Your quarterback situation is flat out awful. They cannot be serious wanting to start Deshaun Watson. I understand what his contract is, but he hasn't played well since 2019. Not exaggerating. That's not even a joke. It's been that long since he's played well. Injury, out because of legal issues and this issue and all that. It's been a while since we've seen Deshaun Watson play. Why they're not putting their arm around Shedeur Sanders, I don't really know. Some people don't like Shedeur. I think that's probably your best bet. I think it's a little too early to tell, but that's it. I don't like Dylan Gabriel. I think he's just too small playing the NFL to be any good. But that's the thing. Best players on this team: Corey Schlesinger, Joe Bonanno, obviously Myles Garrett, fantastic, and Denzel Ward. Todd Monken is the head coach. I think they stay here. Last place. I don't think they get any better. The quarterback situation just is a mess, and the owner is just a mess. You can't do that. That's so important. Coach, quarterback, owner, so important to a franchise, and they're just lacking terribly in all spots, considering the fact they don't look that bad in others. So that's weird. So we'll see if they can somehow miraculously get it right. They actually could be much better. Bengals 6-11 last year, low for their standards as well. Third, passing game strengths of the weaknesses. Passing game, back seven defense concern. Taylor on the hot seat. Of all the coaches, the only team without a new coach, believe it or not, is the Bengals. Zach Taylor is the only one to return for them. So that's shout out to them. Shout out to Zach Taylor, maintaining his spot there. We know what they do well. They're going to throw the football. There's no question about that. You keep Joe Burrow healthy. They have excellent receiving core, maybe the best pair of receivers still in the league. I think their offensive line is improving. The concern is, and I think the back seven, I still don't love it. I think like they've improved the line. They've tried to those additions, but still their corners and stuff like that, they still give up a lot of points. I think that's an issue. What did they do in the offseason? Boye Mafe from the Seattle Seahawks as well. Jonathan Allen, Rick Doc Walker. Every time I think about Jonathan Allen, Rick Doc Walker called him a Rolls Royce. So as well. So they're going to be good up front. They got Dexter Lawrence to go with it. They traded away a first-round pick, 10th pick of the draft. So they're going to be good up front as well. Did lose Trey Hendrickson, so that's a real thing. So that's where obviously Trey Hendrickson went to Baltimore. But they did go ahead and get that. Brian Cook, they signed from Kansas City. Kyle Duggar, also two from Pittsburgh. So they're trying. So they're definitely trying that back in. Cassius Howell, I thought, got him in the second round. I thought this was a steal of a pick. This guy definitely too. If the Ravens had selected him, if he only hadn't been there and the Ravens had selected Cassius Howell at 14, I'd have had no problem with that. This guy is a good, solid college productive pass rusher. Probably going to be competing with Smart Stewart on the other side of Boye Mafe as well. No really problem with that. I think the Bengals the Bengals did okay in the offseason. They didn't just stand pat, they actually did it. Big loss, so they did lose Trey Hendrickson, who definitely did not want to resign. Best players: Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Zeus Jr. Orlando Brown, and Chase Brown. Pretty much all on offense as well. They are. The thing is, they're going to live and die if Joe Burrow stays healthy. That's the problem. So if Joe Burrow actually stays healthy and can actually do some things for them, they're going to be right there in the mix for the division title as well. Can Burrow actually play a 17-game schedule healthy and go all the way through? They made a lot of changes. Their offensive line, they signed Orlando Brown. They've done all these things. Yeah, but blah, blah, blah. But they struggle without him. I do think they are concerned about that. That's why they went ahead and re-signed Joe Flacco in the offseason. So you got a guy that you can step in. They feel really good about that as well. But more people in love with the Bengals, what they did, than I am. I don't think they move much. I think they may have improved their defense, but I'm not totally sold on that as well. They may have, but I don't really see like, oh, wow, they, a lot of good pieces, but we'll see. But the bigger problem, I think, isn't the defense. The defense was the one problem. The other problem is you can't keep your quarterback healthy. So that's a thing as well. So that's how the Bengals look. The Squealers won the division. We all know the story. Tyler Luke pushes it, gets a good field goal, and the Squeals are going home crying. Instead, the Ravens went home crying. Won the division 10-7. New coach for the first time in a long time. Mike McCarthy is now taking over as the head guy. Mike Tomlin is now going to be calling games for NBC this year as well. Steelers won the division at 10-7 on the last night of the season. What's good about them? The pass rush is really good. We all know that. Watt, I think, is fantastic. Highsmith, I think that's the strength of their team. This is the part of the Steeler tradition that they've been able to keep is those outstanding edge rushers. Two guys on each side to really blow up your D. That's still there in Pittsburgh. So I definitely think that's a strength as well. Concerns outside of that, young offensive line, Broderick Jones, some issues there. They did go in the draft and get some guys. QB is a concern, obviously. Aaron Rodgers. We're gonna go over this like this, but let's go over this. Let's just go over this even right now. We're assuming that they're going to have Aaron Rodgers. Everybody's assuming that they're going to have Aaron Rodgers. If they don't, you have a big problem. Because I'm not at all convinced that Will Howard or certainly Drew Aller or Mason Rudolph can help you. This really, really takes your team down with the lack of Aaron Rodgers. Now, by all accounts, we're assuming he's going to be there. I don't know why he's not signed. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's the problem. I mean, we're almost at Memorial Day. Like I don't. You've been playing for 20 years. I don't know. Anyway, but I think the Steelers are assuming Aaron's going to be there. And so, but that is a concern. Even if Aaron returns, he's going to be 42. So we'll see. But that's probably a concern for them. The rest of it was very Steel-like. Rico Dowell was very good in Carolina last year. He signed up with them. They went out and got Michael Pittman to go on the other side. They badly needed another wide receiver to go with DK Metcalf as well. Derek Harmon, I think that was actually Jamal Dean, free agent corner. So definitely they needed some help. They got Joey Porter Jr. on the one side. You got a good solid vet, Jamal Green as well. Little concerned about the age a little bit, but that's still a good solid corner. I think he's better than Darius Slay and the guys that tried to bring up there last year as well. Sebastian Joseph, they went and got a tackle free agency, Javon Brisker as well. Maxi Yokor, I think I'm saying that right, and Jennings Dunker. They definitely addressed the offensive line in the draft as well. Injury issues, don't know if they're going to have Broderick Jones. A lot of youth there. Never go wrong with that. I think their offensive line will be okay as well. They're going to need protection, especially with Aaron as quarterback. Your best players, TJ Watt, DK Metcalf, Cam Hayward, Aaron, and Highsmith as well. Mike McCarthy. I was shocked they hired Mike McCarthy. That was completely floored me that you assume that the Steelers have never done this before. They've never had that, and they've had veteran coaches, obviously, but they hired a guy 10 years older than the guy they had. They've always taken the young guy whenever they did a hire. They haven't done many hires. This is the fourth coach they've had since 1969, and they hired a 63-year-old. So, bit of a surprise, but this tells me they really want Aaron to come back. They'll figure that out later, whoever the next young Steelers coach is. And they're trying to go ahead and win another division. So we'll see. Again, another team, like every team in the league, but all three of these teams in the North. Quarterback, Bengals, keep it healthy. Find a quarterback in Cleveland. Can they maintain quarterback in Pittsburgh? So as well. This is the team, obviously, with the best quarterback, your Baltimore Ravens. So the Flock were 8-9 last year. Definitely disappointing. They have a new coach as well. Jesse Minter is now the leader of the Flock. Okay, John Harbaugh is now in New York. They fired John Harbaugh at the end of the year. They brought in a new coach to coaching staff. Obviously, Eric DeCosta, still the GM. What do they have? Skill positions. Some people question it. We're going to go over the depth chart in a second, but I'm fine with the skill positions. You got Lamar Jackson. You got Derrick Henry there. You got Zay Flowers. You got Mark Andrews still there. That's good enough. That's pretty good. The question is, do you have that depth is a little more challenged than it was, at least on paper? You're now, Zay Bateman, not as good last year. Your number 2 receiver, DeAndre Hopkins is gone. So you're asking now Tez Walker to step up. You got 2 rookie receivers that you got in the draft. 2 new tight ends after, now that after Andrews likely is gone, Kolar's gone. So that's a thing as well. But the skill positions, not worried about that. Pass rush is going to be much, much, much improved. So the reason is to like the Ravens is the problem last year. The biggest problem was their pass rush. That's been solved. All accounts, they will have Nnamdi Matabuke back on the field, which is fantastic. You get Matabuke back. Also, too, you went out and got Trey Hendrickson, which was terrific, which is obviously a thing. So you definitely fixed that. Your secondary's been solid. Concerned about the age, I think, with Marlon Humphrey and I think Awuzie, as good as they were, but that offensive line obviously is their biggest concern. You're starting a rookie, Ione, even though he was heralded. You'll see they have no idea at center. That's unacceptable. That was garbage. That they don't have a center. They let Linderbaum go. So your offensive line is still very much a concern, especially with the injury history. And now Lamar's going to be 30 years old this year. So that's a thing. And you got a rookie punter. So threw that in last year. Jordan Stout is gone. We'll see. They did go ahead and do it in the draft. Off-season, biggest acquisition, obviously, is Trey Hendrickson. Not Max Crosby. A lot of us know the story. Max Crosby trade voided in the offseason as well. They went ahead, voided out the trade. Henderson was available. They signed Trey Hendrickson, kept the number 1 pick. We all know the story there as well. This is a massive upgrade. Their pass rush was horrible last year. I think otherwise a defense would have been solid, but you couldn't rush the passer. You absolutely should rush the passer. John Simpson, I think it's fascinating you out and get John Simpson because you didn't sign him to the contract you just gave him. That's why you had all these problems. If you had done that before, anyway. But I think that's fascinating. Dorn Smythe as well. He's going to be a blocking tight end. Jalen Hawkins going to be a depth piece. Calais Campbell. Say it with me. Calais Campbell is back. That's fantastic. So definitely that is there. Vegaioni in the draft. Zion Young as well. Again, so he's probably going to pair with Trey Hendrickson. We'll see that. Mike Green, etc. But I think your best players, we already talked about them. I think they're the same. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Roquan. I'm leaving Roquan there. I still think Roquan was good at the end of last year. I don't think Roquan was great. And Kyle Hamilton, he's safety one in the NFL as well. Do think the Ravens have the talent to go ahead and win their division this year? What we're seeing too with the divisions that I went over, and I've been looking over a lot of them. It's funny. They're clumped up in division very closely, right? So hard to decipher. Steelers, Ravens, Bengals in the South. Hard to decipher. Carolina, Atlanta, New Orleans, etc. Real close. In the West, maybe better teams, but San Francisco, Seattle, Los Angeles, kind of not this year. So this is how it looks. The North. All right. So this is how the North looks. This is what the teams did as well. We all like what the Ravens did. I didn't love the draft, but I definitely too do like what the Ravens did in the offseason. I think the Ravens did best they could with that as well. Orioles 7-4 in the ninth, according to the score. So we're just keeping our eye on that. Orioles. We're going to talk Orioles here in a second. How does it look on paper? So let's do a post-draft depth chart here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the Ravens look like. A little roster breakdown as well. So we've had the draft, and now we know who's here, right? We mentioned that here. So what are the Ravens going to look like on paper, on the field, whenever we look like it? All right. All right, so what do the Ravens look like on the field? Offensive backfield, no surprise here. Lamar Jackson, number 1, QB1, top 10 quarterback, I think, in the NFL. I think that's no surprise. 2-time MVP. Just got to keep him healthy. Only concern with Lamar is the contract. Still not done. You're out of void years. You're gonna have to do something with the contract. Tyler Huntley coming back was big. That's necessary. It's fantastic they bring Tyler Huntley back. Even though you got a new coach, that makes all the sense in the world. You don't have to change your offense. You don't have to change everything you're doing. Cooper Rush is gone. Fascinating, though, I would say Skylar Thompson, Diego Pava have been signed 5 quarterbacks. So they're at least, I think, flirting with the idea of keeping 3 quarterbacks. So keep that in mind. I think they're at least flirting with that idea, at least giving themselves options there. Derrick Henry's back again, number 1 back. Let's see how Jesse Minter uses him as well. Let's see if we can actually get bell cow. For years I said it. John Harbaugh doesn't like bell cow. You have a bell cow. Let's see how Jesse Minter actually uses him. Justice Hill, good old Swiss Army knife. Nothing wrong. I actually like Justice Hill. Good old Swiss Army knife. Not a guy who's going to be an every down carry back for a full season, but he's a guy who can do exactly what he's been doing. Great blocker at the position, catch passes out of the backfield. I think he can run the ball too more than he's getting, but we'll see about that. Rasheen Ali was on the roster all last year. So they carried pretty much 4 running backs all last year. Rasheen Ali is here. Keaton Mitchell is gone. Adam Randall, the owner's pick, is here. I do think, everybody's saying he was the first pick. I do think Isaiah Likely was a pick for the owner. I think the owner was involved in that. Maybe not as much as this, but I will say that. Lucas Scott, I have here as a fullback on the Scott on the roster. It's definitely gone, in my opinion. Pat Ricard, no, not opinion, but Pat Ricard did sign with New York. So I don't know if they're going to keep a fullback, but Lucas Scott, I think, at least during camp, is going to get every look. It's like maybe not they keep a fullback. I would lean against it, but if it is, I think Lucas Scott's got the best shot at it. Wide receiver and tight end, like I said, we just talked about the fullback. They may carry 2 tight ends. Now, Declan Doyle, the new offensive coordinator, may carry 2 tight ends. Zay Flower, Tez Walker. Tez Walker may be your 3rd receiver. I think there is going to be a good battle for the 3rd receiver as well. Zay Flowers, obviously, I think he's one of the better receivers in the league. I don't know. I don't understand anybody saying that the Ravens don't have a number 1 receiver. This guy's a monster. Definitely saw the maturation with Zay Flowers, where he's got that great speed. The only thing he doesn't have, obviously, is height. So he's kind of not a shorter receiver, just usually isn't as good in the red zone. That's the only flaw. This guy can read defenses, really decipher, really good stuff from him. Rashard Bateman, production down. I don't think it was all his fault. I'm not as hard on Bateman, but he's got to stay healthy for 16 games. That's a thing. They did go ahead draft Jacoby Lane in the draft as well. Elliott Scott is on there in the 4th round. They're going to be fighting for that. I think them and Tez Walker, that 3rd receiver spot is going to be up for grabs. Who's going to be your slot receiver as well? So that's definitely going to be up for grabs. No question about who's your number 1 tight end anymore. Mark Andrews with the extension, he's definitely going to be your number 1 tight end. Durham Smythe was signed in the offseason. So I think he's going to be the blocker. I think this is kind of the replacement for Charlie Kolar. Matt Hittner, I think, and Cuevas, they're going to be, I think, fighting for catches as well. I think they're both kind of – Hittner's more of a blocker slash catcher. I think Cuevas is more of the pass catcher, like in space as well. Probably going to have 2 tight ends as well. So I do think this is going to be a spot for 2 guys here as well. We'll see if they carry, but I'm thinking they'll carry all 4 of these guys on the roster as well. Offensive line, my biggest concern, the biggest concern of the team, the 2 vets on the end, Ronnie Stanley and Roger Rosengarten. Stanley, the only concern is, can you keep him healthy for a whole season? I thought Stanley was actually really good last year. I thought, other than the fact that when he was out injured, no problem with Ronnie Stanley there. I have no problem with Rosengarten. I think this is going to be great for him. I think Rosengarten, look, playing next to Daniel Falele didn't help. Like, I don't, not to continue to beat up on Falele, but I mean, it's just that's a thing. This guy was always out of position, always doing, that's not good for the guy next to you. So I definitely think that'll help. You got a veteran, John Simpson, most likely at guard. These two positions could change, but I think Ronnie played on the left side in college. I think he'll play next to Stanley. He's a number one starter, no question about it. Corey Bullock. The obvious problem is the center position, Corey Bullock. I'm pretty sure you need to make a move here. They have no idea if Corey Bullock can play. Even with the struggles of the line last year, he didn't play at all. So we don't know as well. Danny Pitter, Jacqueline Vaughn listed on the depth chart behind them. Think they will get every opportunity. If you don't sign a Graham Glasnow, if you don't sign Ethan Pollock or something like that, I'm pretty sure you need to make a move. They may wait until after the mini camps and see how it looks first. That makes sense, but they may wait until training camp. Some teams, sometimes you want to see how it looks first before you for sure make a move. Maybe you got something right. That's why you have mini camps and everything like that. Backups: Carson Vincent, totally not ready last year. Didn't see the field at all. So maybe increase in reps. I'm sure he'll get some reps. Emory Jones, I think we talked about him maybe starting at one of the guard spots. Maybe he plays a little more tackle. Maybe he still plays at guard. We'll see. We'll see how that works here at the beginning of camp. Let's see how the first team and everything looks. I'm thinking, though, he's a little further back on the depth chart as well. And Andrew Voorhees is still here. I don't think he starts. I think he's just I wouldn't be surprised if he's not on the roster. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I think he's definitely fighting for a roster spot as a backup. I don't think they have him in any starting plans as well. And to be fair, like, he struggled last year, so I definitely do think that's obviously the right thing as well. All right, how'd that happen? All right, so let's take a look here as well. Namne Matabuke is back as well. Namne Matabuke is back. Looking all accounts, he should be back. I don't think it's 100%. They're not being super definitive, but he should be there as well, coming back next year. Travis Jones, definitely sign him back to an extension in the offseason as well. And let's see.
He's on a whole different track now that he knows there's more to the story than what's in the official report.
Did you tell me Benny who stole the watch?
Not exactly, but you put it together.
Look.
Okay, so Travis Jones, the screen is kind of there though. So as well, Broderick Washington should start at the other spot as well. Broderick's an okay starter. I think he's got to stay healthy. I think he's definitely going to be splitting time with other. Calais Camp is back. Calais Camp is back. Nothing not to like about Calais. Definitely too, you love it even more, especially if you get Nanabuke back. They have some insurance just in case they don't have him. But if he plays less, I think that's okay too. I think that's what they're hoping for. Even as you can kind of use him on third down, pass rush downs as a specialist when needed. Have a stud there. I think that's fantastic. John Jenkins, shout out to him. Definitely he's going to back up Travis Jones. Rashard Benny, I think, is going to get every chance to play. It's funny, they're off the screen there. Aeneas Peoples and CJ Okoye. I think both of those guys are going to be fighting for roster spots. Peoples, I think this is not good for him. The setup that's coming in, so it'll be interesting to see how much they actually play as well. Yes, got it all on the screen here. Linebackers, Trey Hendrickson at one side, outside linebacker for sure. With him, Zion Young, Adiza Isaac. Isaac's the easiest one. I don't know if he's even going to be on the front. We still haven't seen him on the field, and he's going into his third season. So we still don't know what we have. Trey Hendrickson is one of the better pass rushers in the NFL. The only question is he going to play every down? Do they see him more situational as well? We'll see. Not a very good against the run. Think that's his biggest weakness. Zion Young, they picked at 45. I think they're definitely going to play a lot of him. Roquan Smith for sure at the one inside linebacker, along with Teddy Buchanan. At the other one, Mike Green is going to start. I think him and Zion are going to play together. I think that's the plan as well. Jay Higgins, Trent Simpson, Tavius Robinson. Higgins, I think they're going to be competing for those spots as well. We'll see how that looks in camp. Other people like Tavius more than I do. I don't love Tavius as a player. I think he sets the edge in the run game. That's about it. I think he's just a little too slow for that. That's why they like Brian Green and Zion Young and all that, etc. As well. A couple more. Trey Hendrick, Marlon Humphrey. He is back. Wasn't sure that he would be. He's going to start. TJ Champa, Chandler Rivers. I think a lot of people think he's the steal of the draft. He definitely can be a guy that's going to start and slot for him. Definitely room for him to move. TJ Tampa, we really haven't seen him play much outside of special teams where he's been really good. Malachi Starks, he's got it all to himself. Aloy Gilman is gone, so him and Kyle Hamilton is going to be their turn right here. Awuzie definitely going to get every chance to play at corner. So him, Hamilton as well, along with Nate Wiggins there as well. Cone Lagerbein in the draft last year. We'll see Keandre Jackson there as well. Nate Wiggins, it looks like, is off the screen. So Nate Wiggins is going to start there as well. Special teams, I think it'll still be Tyler Luke, despite the way it went at the end of the year. I think it'll still be Tyler Luke, barring a really poor camp or something like that as well. Ryan Eckley, you drafted a guy that high. For sure you're going to take him. For sure you're going to look at him. Javonte Wester, I think I'm a pencil him in. I think he may have to fight. I think somebody's going to take a spot. He really didn't do anything as a receiver. I think that hurts him, but we'll see how he does again in the third corner. And the vet, Nick Moore, is back. There you go. All right. So that's the depth chart for the Ravens. And so that's how it looks. So that's how the North looks. That's how the depth chart looks. So we will go ahead and see how they look when they start in September as well. Orioles 7-4 over the Marlins. So 2 straight. Good job by the Birds tonight. Pitching still needs work, man. We'll get to that in a second when we get to the Orioles as well. All right. NBA playoffs. Let's go ahead and go over that as well. So first round now over. Into the second round. What does that look like? We'll go over that here. Cavs and the Pistons. Pistons 1-0 over the Cavs. Pistons look like they've gotten their mojo together. Ever since Wagner went out in that series, I think it's been all Detroit since then. So they dug themselves a big hole, but they have really been rolling ever since. 111, 101 over Cleveland. I've just killed Cleveland for trading away Darius Garland, so I won't keep doing that. But definitely too, the Pistons now could be giving people some trouble because they look comfortable now as well. Shout out to Tobias Harris too. Like he's, everybody's going past him. He's like 33 years old. He's been good for them. So every team needs that, like a veteran presence as well. Jared Durant, a little bit uneven as well. Duncan Robinson for them, good veteran outside shooter. I don't think it's a complete juggernaut yet in Detroit, but I think that's it was enough. I think they're definitely trending up. I think they maybe need another player, another piece as well. Cleveland, look, they're getting points from Donovan Mitchell. They're getting scoring from James Harden. They don't have I'm not going to keep beating but that was just crazy. I don't know why they keep doing that. Jared Allen is not giving you any offense. Evan Mobley's kind of in and out. They have as much talent, but I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that the Pistons are really growing, really have a lot of confidence to get going there. So I'm definitely liking them there as well. Why are you way down there? 76ers and the Knicks. Knicks totally blew out the 76ers in the first game. It was 130. So tonight's game is a little bit closer. Here as well. What was the first game? They looked really good against the Hawks in the last series there as well. 137-98. So they totally just ran them off the floor there as well. Closer tonight, it's tied up right now, 99 in the fourth as well. I like New York in this series. I think they kind of like the Pistons. They kind of like them. I think they've kind of gotten their act together. I think the time to get out, I think, is they kind of missed their window. The 76ers have players. I don't think you're not going to – I mean, I'm not going to say that as well. Edgecombe, I think, is one of the rising stars in the league. Maxey is the best star that we never talk about. Paul George is still there, still a solid player when he's healthy. They're not going to have Embiid shocking like in the series. I think that hurts them, but they have a shot. I kind of think the Knicks have a date with the Pistons. We will see about that. The Lakers and the Thunder. Sorry to bore y'all. The Thunder are still the best team in the NBA. No question about it. 108-90 in the last game. Look, without Doncic, I don't see it. I don't see it. I've never bought this version of the Lakers. This is, as much as I love the Lakers, I've always been Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Shaquille, James Worthy, Paul Gasol, etc. But this isn't. You got LeBron, who's playing well, which doesn't surprise me. He's fighting hard as well. Austin Reeves, kind of again not good in the playoffs, and the Thunder are the Thunder. They are excellent defensively. You're not going to score a lot of points against them. They're going to kill you in the mid range. Shea's. Some people complain about Shea, the way he plays. Not a highlight film, but I think he's outstanding. Definitely think that's the team there as well. Timberwolves and the Spurs. This could be the surprise, I think. Timberwolves did win the first game, 104-102. Spurs have more talent, and no question in my mind here as well. So you look at that young core: Wembanyama, Castle, De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, Keldon Johnson. The problem is they haven't been here before, and the Timberwolves have. So this is the one. The Timberwolves. This is Edwards is not going to be. Not only does he not going to be bothered by this, he's going to embrace this type of stage. You see that Rudy Gobert, outstanding center. Randall, Jaden McDaniels. Shaquille O'Neal should stop calling this guy another. This guy is an outstanding starter in the league. I think he's going to make an all-star team several more times as well. So this is definitely a spot here where I think they can steal one. So I definitely not as sure here. I said the Spurs, so I'm gonna stick with the Spurs, but I definitely think the T-Wolves have absolutely a shot to get there, and we will see. There you go. All right. So let's talk a little baseball. Baseball summer is coming up soon. So what is baseball summer real quick while I get the graphic up?
What are you doing? All you've been talking about is winning the year. Didn't I tell you to keep the phone in the rig? Okay, good. So now you don't want to sell the floor? I don't know.
Okay, so we got the graphic up. But baseball summer. So once we're not in the NBA during the summer, we're not. NBA is just about over. NHL is about over. Preakness is over. Football, college pro. So what do we talk about? So we talk about baseball all summer. Since baseball really takes the forefront from Memorial Day to Labor Day, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about. Not just the Orioles, but The Frederick Keys, obviously back in business. I'll be going to some Keys games. Norfolk Tides, Aberdeen Ironbirds are still rolling. The Blue Crabs, Hagerstown Boxcars, etc. We're definitely going to be talking about all the teams in the Orioles minor league system as well. Major League Trade Deadline, College World Series, Little League World Series. So we're definitely going to be going all over that during baseball summer. But let's talk about the MLB. So, who are the 5 best teams right now in Major League Baseball? Spoiler, it's not the Baltimore Orioles. It's the Orioles did not make it. However, these teams here did in the league. So, what we saw the first month, and I did the first MLB tiers, almost didn't want to say because they were so clumped up. A lot of 500, a lot of teams real close together, a lot of teams in that little ball. Now we're seeing some separation. Now we're seeing teams actually going out and separating themselves. Now we're seeing teams actually getting better, etc. Teams actually, we know. All right. So we're getting there. We're getting near Memorial Day. Next week, we're going to do actually early season awards, not mid-season quite yet, but early season. Who would win MVP and all that. But who right now are the best teams in the league? Let's talk about some teams that didn't make it. No particular order here, okay? The Reds, I think some people are more believing than I am, but definitely off to a good start. I think that's definitely true in that division. That division is pretty good. So that's why I'm kind of not there yet. The Cardinals have been way better than anybody has thought. I mean, you could have had the Cardinals as the number one pick, getting the number one pick in the draft, and they've been decent here so far. So the Cardinals, Padres are hanging in. Some people may have them in the top 5. I don't have them in the top 5. I'm just not as big of a believer on the Padres. Team is getting older as well. Outside of Tatis and Jackson Merrill, they're decent on offense. I think they're solid on offense, but I don't think they're the best team in that, especially in that division, which is hard as well. Brewers, not done yet. Record doesn't show it yet, but they're in a dogfight. I think the Cubs have really outplayed them here to start, but I still like the Brewers as well. Worth mentioning. Honorable mention. All right. Top 5. Who's in the top 5? Tampa Bay Rays, the former Tampa Bay Devil Rays. As usual, best team nobody talks about. Tampa Bay, I think, is really good on offense. One more time. Tampa Bay is really good on offense. People don't kind of never realize how good of offensive group that they have. Junior Camarillo is fantastic, man. I mean, he is one of the best young power hitters in all of baseball. I think he's the best third baseman in all of the MLB. Yandy Diaz is still there for them. Jonathan Aranda, I think, is an outstanding young player. Our guy, Cedric Mullins, is there. There's a lot to like. Shane McClanahan, I think we were talking about an open mic, how good of a pitcher Shane McClanahan has been. So he's absolutely back for them. The Rays find a way. The Rays usually find a way. I'm totally convinced in this, and they could score runs. So we think of even the good Rays teams. Well, they have Evan Longoria, and who else is in the line? No. These guys can hit home runs. These guys are going to hit for power. These guys are going to score. Their offensive is right there. They're pitching. They're finding a way to piece it together. So I definitely believe this is a team that's top 5. I think they could stay there. I think definitely 2 with a lot of those teams look like. For now, Race number 5. Number 4, the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. Because it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out for a old ball. Cubbies. Cubbies, I think, should be really good. So I'm a little more skeptical here because of the history of the Cubs, like not just their all-time history, but even in recent years as well. Pete Crow Armstrong, I think is their best player. Not off to a good start. Offensively, not jumping out of the gate either. I think that's the other thing. Despite their record, winning some close games, but not really bit of an ensemble offensively. We're still kind of waiting on some of their offensive players to really get out there. I think their pitching staff is good though. I really do like it. I think Edward Cabrera, I think, is going to be an outstanding pitcher going forward for them as well. Hopefully they can get Justin Steele back at some point. I don't know as well. Jameson Talon, I think, off to a decent enough start as well. I'm kind of buying as well. They're in a tough division, but the Cubs getting off to the start they need to. So I'm okay with the Cubs. Number 4. Number 3, I think this is definitely a separation between 4 and 3. The lousy Yankees are outstanding. I got no problem with the Yankees putting them in the top 3. Offensively, look, we know what Judge is. Judge is fantastic. I mean, I don't think there's any debate there. He's got like 13 home runs again. Ben Rice is growing right before us. Can they get that other guy to go ahead and make you pitch around Judge? And Ben Rice, young Ben Rice, I think is absolutely doing that. 343 average, I think 12 home runs already. 27 years old, so he's coming into his prime here as well. Some of their offensive guys from last year, Chisholm, Bellinger, you're still kind of waiting, but their pitching staff has been top shelf. Top shelf. Will Warren looked fantastic against the Orioles the other night. Max Fried, I think we already know they're going to get Cole back, Rote, etc. So I got no problem with putting the Yankees in the top 3. Ben Dara also has been really good for them. So they're right there as well. Number 2, Atlanta Braves. Real quick, shout out, rest in peace to the great Ted Turner, one of the persons that I wanted to be in media because of what Ted Turner did in Atlanta with the Braves, WCW, the Hawks, etc. So rest in peace, Ted Turner. He would be happy with this Braves team because they're really, really, really good. Matt Olson has been fantastic for him here at the start. Drake Baldwin has totally put Sean Murphy on the bench full time as well. So they're good offensively. I think the talent is obviously there. Acuna on the shelf again. That's a concern. They can't seem to keep him on the field. The starting pitching has been really good as well. They have excellent bullpen. I think there's a lot to be excited about there as well in Atlanta. I think Atlanta is right there. And in that division, there's room to move. I mean, the Mets, Phillies, and haven't had a great start. So the Braves deserve to be here. I'm putting them number 2 right now. But number 1, record doesn't reflect it. Come on. The Dodgers. You got to say the Dodgers. They need no introduction. I will say this. Interesting, though, I would say Shohei offensively, the numbers haven't been Shohei-like here so far. Okay, but as well, where he's really been eye-opening is on the mound. He's really putting together a Cy Young season here so far. But come on, we're not worried about the Dodgers offense. Freeman, Hernandez, Tucker, Paez, etc. Dodgers are 1 till we see otherwise. There you go. All right. So those are the 5 best teams in MLB. So definitely check that out there as well. And let's go to this week in the Orioles Weekly Reports. Let's go. Jose Espinal and Cameron Foster. This was a couple days ago, so sometimes the churn is crazy what's going on right now. Jose Espinal and Cameron Foster called. Cade Povich to Norfolk, selected the contract of Albert Suarez from Norfolk. Option placed Ryan Hensley on the 15-day IL. Just got to keep Hensley healthy. That's the big thing, the big takeaway that I have from that. That's the major concern. Reinstated Dietrich Enns from the 15-day DL, designated Albert Suarez for assignment option. Tyler Wells to Norfolk, Nick Rocket from Norfolk as well. Talked a little bit about Suarez. I love Viola Suarez, man. That story is just unbelievable there as well. Dietrich ends. It's on a 15-day DL. That doesn't shock me. Working his way back. Also, too, in that segment, Ricky Vascano selected from Toledo, taking a guy from a different team as well. Trey Gibson selected the contracts. He already made his start, and the option they bracket back to Norfolk as well. So Trey Gibson, he just used him for a spot start as well. No problem with that. I think like there's not a lot of good options as far as minor league pitchers. So Trey Gibson is about as good as anybody as well. Had been good in the minors, deserves at least a spot in the majors. Luis Severino has stopped to a 1-year contract after they outright Albatross to Norfolk and option Trey Gibbons back to Norfolk as well. So just a spot start. I think they want him to get more starts. I don't think he's going to get more starts in the league there as well. 9-7 win last night. On the surface, on offensive showing, but underneath far more layer stories about execution, resilience, and evolving identity. They're hitting. Even the ones that are not hitting. You see Pete Alonso stepping up. You see Gunnar Henderson playing well. At least is kind of struggling. Well, he's actually kind of struggling lately in terms of that. But the offensive production overall is still there. So they're getting offense. They're just not getting good starts. So they're going to have to win games right now, 9-7. You know, what happens, you no pitching, so you need more runs. So that's what you do here in this situation. But I definitely think the bats seem to be waking up. Lonzo getting better. Taylor Ward's been good a lot of the offense seems to be coming around here as well. Irish and Wima Aloy have been really good. So they got picked early in the draft last year, been really good at Frederick. They seem to be in lockstep. Each went yard second time this season. And Frederick against Jersey Shore at Nimio Field. So they've been on the field. Also, they say it said 23 games they've played. They played in all the games. They've looked really good. That's very promising. This minor league system needs to build back up. And you see a lot of the prospects, they're really at Frederick. Single A as well. Westberg has been shut down from baseball activities due to lingering pain in the hand, and Jackson Holiday is expected to be really evaluated for rehab assignment. Westberg, I don't think he's going to play this year. If he does, it'll be a while, but I don't think he's going to play. Jackson Holiday's had a little bit of a setback. I think they're just being extra cautious with Jackson because you don't want this to linger. So it's just gonna get him some rest and not rush it. Who's hot? Samuel Basayo, Keegan Aiken, Rico Garcia. Rico Garcia, you could put him on the hot list every week. Keegan Aiken has been really good. His last couple outings says he's been back. Rough first start, but he's been good. Basayo, I think, has been fantastic lately. You can see how he's maturing as a hitter right before us. Kobe Mayo's not doing so well. Gotta play him. They keep taking him in and out. Some guys, he's still a young guy. Not going to work. We talked about Gunnar Henderson struggling. Shane Bassett just hasn't looked good to me. I think he really struggles with his command all season long. Sacramento Athletics next week after they have one more game with the Marlins tomorrow, and then they're going to play the A's and the Yankees at home. Pete Alonso is the player of the week. Pete Alonso hit a home run tonight. He had a Weaver tonight, 3-run home run, and he's been hitting lately as well. Alonso finally looks like we're getting our money's worth. See you next week. Thank you for watching, and you have a great day.